the bear is not running after you anymore,
No.
but you are still running.
Yeah. And
From-
you didn't even realize the bear is not.
The bear is gone,
Yeah.
but it's replaced by an inner bear, which is me. Now I'm the one who's putting pressure on me. Now I'm the one who's like, Soroosh, you need to be successful.
You look like a sheep.
Sheep.
Yeah, with the sheep coat.
So soft. Touch me.
Touch me. Wow. What if I don't want to?
You have to.
Okay, well, that's a boundary.
Touch you.
That's also maybe a nice topic. Like, when do we overstep boundaries?
There's no boundary.
Well,
What is boundary, really?
do we need them? When do they serve us and when do they not? Actually, I think...
I think we talked about this, no?
No, not yet. Not like this.
Boundary?
Yeah, I mean, boundaries is part of a lot of
Wasn't one
topics.
of the first episodes?
No, man. But
Okay.
I think boundaries is part of a lot of topics.
Yeah, well, it's a key thing.
All right.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hearts Wide Open. My name is Soroosh, and today I'm here with...
Dennis, hi.
Yes, and here we are to provide another beautiful episode of this podcast for you, so you feel comfortable sharing your experiences with us, with yourself, and going deeper into the feelings and overall things that you deal in life.
Yeah. In general, I think we hope to inspire these type of conversations.
I hope so.
Yeah. Nice. Well, welcome again.
Yeah.
Today we have an interesting topic again.
Every time.
Every
we have
time
an
is so
interest-
interesting.
Guys, can we just take a moment
I appreciate that.
to? No, but truly, if you do like our stuff, please share it.
Yeah,
With the
share it with
people
your
that-
friends,
yeah.
and also if you like our content, feel free to leave us 5 stars. I explained 2 episodes ago how it works, but basically you just go to Spotify, our profile page. On top there's the stars. Click on that. Give us a 5 if you like our content. If you think we should do more of these type of conversations, and stay tuned.
Yeah. Let's go.
Today, Soroosh brought a really cool topic in, which is about pressure.
It's about pressure.
Pressure.
In specific.
This is what I feel when I hear pressure. Like,
Yeah. That's an interesting. Yeah, let's start it that way.
actually, even when I hear the word pressure, my shoulders already tensen up, and it's like,
Yeah? Is that how you feel?
yeah, tension for me is almost equal with pressure. You know, because it's pressing something
What-
together.
What is it mentally that you picture when I say pressure?
Uncomfortable.
No, I meant give me a mental picture
Hmm.
of the word pressure.
Yeah,
Like if I say strawberry, it has a mental picture, right?
Yeah, the strawberry, honestly.
And if I say pressure, do you have a mental picture?
I imagine
Maybe
of
you don't, by the way.
pressure.
Because I had this discussion with the
Uh,
coworker that my brain works visually.
Yeah.
So when you say a word, I visually can imagine it.
I think of situations or things that happen to me. Like
Okay.
I was now thinking a bit longer, and pressure for me, I see this movement of hands pressing something together. That's what I see
Mentally.
mentally. Yeah, that's my visual picture of pressure. Like this, what I was doing.
That's a very good mental picture to have.
Like basically you're pushing something that doesn't fit into something, like something bigger into something smaller, and it wants out. Or like a bit of a, not the opposite of a vacuum.
I don't think it's the opposite of a vacuum.
Yeah. Like a vacuum is when
A
you
vacuum-
take air out.
Yeah, well, vacuum happens when you make pressure difference. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's under pressure, and I'm thinking of a balloon that is full, that is about to burst. So that's
Good, actually, thing because a balloon that's about to explode
that one is good.
is an internal pressure.
Mm.
But what you describe with the 2 hands from left and right putting something, like pressing it, I look at it as outward pressure. So are you exploding from the inside or out?
I think
Is a question. That
maybe
we
there
want
is
to-
two types of pressures in that way, like the external pressure and the one we do for ourselves.
That is correct. Which is a great segue of what we want to talk about in this episode.
Exactly. So, what is pressure? And yeah, so that's pressure for me. I think there's
Okay,
internal,
good.
external pressure,
Yeah.
and yeah, you were more specifically also referring to a certain type of pressure.
Yeah. So more specifically for this episode, we wanted to talk about pressure to perform. Is a topic that I had in mind that recently brought up to me by a friend. Like we had a discussion with a friend.
You want to give your name, your friend, a fake name
a fake name
or a real one? I don't know if you want.
I would give it a real name.
A real name.
It was with Moin. So if you hear this episode,
Shout
this
out to
is-
Moin.
We are both, me and Moin, came from Iran to the Netherlands, and I think we are both successful in our career. But what we share together more of this is this personality of grind. We constantly want more. Like when we have a position, we are thinking about how can we make it better? How can we do better at job? Like if I have, even within my job, something are not my responsibilities directly, I'm gonna take a look, see, how can I make that better? How can I become a better programmer? How can I become a better manager? So it's this constant urge to become better. This is something that we were talking about. And because we feel like this is kind of a purpose for us and it makes us happy on the positive side. But on the negative side, we also were talking about how creating this always getting better and on this constant grinding also put pressure on you. Right? And then this pressure doesn't always come from the outside. So it's not that your boss is like, oh, Dennis, you're not doing well. I need you to work harder. Or Soroosh, I need this faster. I need this. Because in the Netherlands, I think there is a good amount of work-life balance that unless you're really struggling, people were not going to push you toward that thing. And it's inward that I want to do it. I want to become better. I want to push it more. And same with Moin, which creates a little pressure for us. Not little, actually, it creates a lot of pressure of this constant need of improvement. Like sometimes, I don't know, I'm going out with friends and in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, but I could have stayed at home and worked on this to make that product better. You know?
Is it also that when you then do stay at home and work on something and your friends are going out that you feel the opposite? Oh, I could have gone out and improved my friendships?
I do, but it depends on the situation, but it's less, I do feel less bad. Because I feel like with work, there's a timeline of getting things into market. And I feel like we need to beat that timeline.
Okay, this is very complex for me because remember we're also talking to people who are in different professions. Like, what do you mean by that?
Okay,
That's
fair.
very technical language.
I work in a startup that time to market is very important.
So what is time to market?
Time to market is like when a customer requests a feature from us. For example, they want to say, okay, I want to buy something with the click of a button, and we don't have it yet. So this is a new feature.
So it matters how fast you can deliver the solution.
Yes.
Okay.
So the faster you deliver the solution, it is more likely that they buy your product versus a competitor that is they have more options available, but they are delivering it in 3 months.
So in your business, this is important because
Yes.
that's what they base their decision on.
Yeah. Well, every startup time to market is very important.
Okay.
You don't have to make a perfect solution, but the first good enough solution is the winner. This is the mentality in the startups.
So there's like some pressure to get there fast, to
Yes.
get things done fast.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This is from work-wise, and still personal-wise. I do have a personal pressure that I feel like, okay,
About work as well, or
yeah, about me. That before I'm at a certain age, I want to achieve certain things.
so do you have an example?
Yeah, when I was specifically when I was younger, I felt like I was always looking up to like Steve Jobs, to Mark Zuckerberg when still Facebook was good, and all these big companies. And I felt like I want to be like that person because they made a change to the world. They brought something new, and I want to make this change also to the world. And then I was comparing that. Oh, I'm 22. I haven't still done it. I'm 23. I haven't still done it.
Mark Zuckerberg already had Facebook at that age.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so that's the second type of pressure. So you're like, okay, from
Against
work, there's the faster I am, the better. Yeah. And then from yourself, by this time I wanted to already be Mark Zuckerberg and have children and have a house and all that. Yeah. Okay, so there's two pressures. Yeah. And they both impact this situation. Exactly. Okay.
And so I have this within me that, I don't know, by the age of 30, 35, I imagine myself to have done something great. This is the future I see for me, work-wise. And it doesn't matter if it's in this job, in another job. Everywhere you put me, I try to make something great. This is just the piece of my personality.
Okay.
Which creates the pressure. So coming back to the pressure, then the question we were trying to answer was, where does it come from? Because if you think about it, nobody's asking you to.
Yeah, because we already asked this question actually. Where does it come from? Okay, there's this work one, then there's another one, personal one.
This is in the current moment.
But then, so that's the first step. Where does it come from? But where does it really come from, right?
Yeah, like...
So the external, the work pressure, we know where it comes from. But now, like, why does it impact you in that way? Why does it create more pressure? And how does it work together with the pressure you're feeling? And where's that pressure from? That's what we're wondering.
Yeah, so talking about internal pressure.
There's a deeper level to this one.
I think so. Because as you said, for the external, I think it's time to market is just important. So
you just want to be good at your job. Like
exactly.
KPIs and all that stuff.
Yeah. But the internal ones, we were more asking about, why do we want to always become better? This is, just think about it. That
it's never enough.
It's never enough. And so I'm going to look at it in the perspective of me, Soroosh. Why do Soroosh want to become better?
You're laughing because we talked about third persons 2 episodes ago. Make sure to check it out. In this case, he's using third person for a reason.
Yeah, I think it's more sensible in that sense, more understandable.
Yeah.
So why do Soroosh wants to become better, like constantly? And I forgot the other one. Personally for me, and then personally, then I want to talk about humanity. Okay.
Yeah, I think let's focus on the personal side, because I think the human side, I think it's also a lot the system. Capitalism is actually driving exponential growth,
but think about it. Let's start with the humanity one.
Okay, sure.
Just briefly. Yeah. Let's talk.
I have a lot of opinions about this.
Okay.
Just go.
We're not going to get too much into the details, but I think it's more of a backstory for the personal one. But I was thinking about humanity thousands of years ago, at where this need to become better came from. Like at some point, it was probably survival, right?
The need to become better or the pressure?
No, just the need to become better. The need to grow. And
I think it's survival, no? I mean, the one who can make better tools can hunt more animal, or like, or whoever understands plants more can better harvest different plants to survive, to make food.
Exactly.
Whoever is better at building shelter.
Exactly. So at some point, it was about survival, right? So we wanted to age more, because one of the natural fears of a human being is death. Yeah. So you would do anything to prevent that death.
Yeah. So instead of dying at 15 by a bear attack, we would have a shelter that would be safe against bears.
Thank you.
And thanks to that, we aged to age 45 now instead of 25 or 15.
But at some point, this need for survival, I think, diminished.
Yeah, now we all get like, if
around
everything
the
goes
same age.
well, we all age way more than 1,000 years ago.
And if you think about it, it's even the other way around. People now, they don't do things to die faster, but they smoke, they drink, they do drugs, they party, they eat fast food, they have all this unhealthy stuff, which kind of reduce your lifespan, but they still do it. So it's become this kind of anti-survival. But there was in my mind,
I think also you don't see directly, immediately how it impacts you.
You don't see it,
Like
correct.
if you smoke today, doesn't mean you die tomorrow. But
That
if
is
a bear attacks you today, then
you're definitely dead. But think about it, where this need for survival become a constant tool for growth.
yeah. And so now I would come in by, I think in modern times we have created systems that are pushing us to always want and make more. And I think we covered a lot of this on our social dilemma episode, for example. And that's strongly links to capitalism, which is the main system we're using in the world right now, and which is actually built on the back of colonialism, exploiting the nature, destroying the planet, everything for more profit, more growth in revenue. And this is my personal opinion, of course, and I stand by it. And I think this is still through social media fueling humans. I need to buy this, I need to buy that, I need more. But I think this is not necessarily the topic we're talking about.
It's not necessarily the topic, but I just want to briefly touch on what you said.
Yeah.
That I think these people did make this constant need of, we want more.
Yeah.
Like, you have a shoe that it works fine, but look at this shiny new one.
Yeah.
I think you want it.
But you're not actually gonna be long-term
Yeah.
happy because you get the
No.
shoe. Yeah.
You have to pay money. It destroys a little bit of nature.
I mean, the science also says the biggest amount of happiness a new pair of shoe gives you is when you buy it.
That is correct.
And then from that
And you
moment on, it
regret.
just goes down. So, yeah,
So
point of
this is-
purchase.
This is a little bit backstory from the point of history that I think we both agree where it came from. This need of constantly becoming better.
Yeah, but now if we zoom in on more recent history, our childhoods, for example, like
Yeah.
how does that still link to what happened 1,000 years ago?
What do you
Because
mean?
like we're making it personal now, so that
Yeah.
pressure, how did building shelter to protect against bears result into you feeling like you always need to do more and you're not enough?
Exactly.
And how does that still create pressure for you today?
Exactly. This is a great segue.
Yeah.
And this is my hypothesis again.
Uh-huh.
I have a lot of hypotheses and theories, but I think, in Iran, I think people are, everybody wants their kids to be successful, to have money, to have a good life, buy whatever they want to. Especially, I think at the generation of our parents, the focus on mental health of the kid or the younger generation was less. I think so. And especially in Iran, because it's maybe financially not super stable, they wanted you to have a successful job. And successful job there means you're a doctor or engineer. Most of the time, especially doctors. If engineers are not very stable. And I feel like my parents always wanted me to be the best. And I still have this conversation with my mom that my mom calls me and she gives me an opinion on, why are you not losing more weight? I'm like, Mom, I'm just busy and I need some time with myself. I don't have time to go to the gym. But why do you put this much pressure on me? And her reply is, because I want you to be the best. And I tell her, maybe I don't want to be the best.
Or maybe her definition of best is different from yours.
Maybe it is, yeah.
Maybe your best is when you're happy.
Yeah, correct. But they had this idea that I'm gonna make the best baby, I think, without really thinking of what the best means, and the best for who.
Yeah.
Who are you trying to make this baby for? Like the best version of this baby.
I think you're talking about two things. One is also cultural. I feel this from my Iranian side of the family more.
Yeah.
That like if you have like a profession that people look up to, like that's great.
Yes.
That's seen in society as something really
high
good.
High
value. You earn a lot of money. Like
Mhm.
people can lean on you. You can support others. You know, you're in a position where you can give.
Correct.
And I think it's two things. One is I think that your parents want the best. I mean, most parents, I would say, want the best for their children.
Mhm.
I think that's also evolution. You want the next generation to be better, more successful. At the same time, and the second thing maybe can be that I think some parents project what they wanted to achieve in life onto their children. So if I cannot get it, my children can, you know?
True.
And then that also creates pressure. Now you need to be successful for your parents.
True.
You know? I hear these two things in what you just said.
True. The second one, I agree with both.
Mm-hmm.
That you project what you couldn't do to your kid.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, I don't think it's my case. Because my parents, I think in their career, they are successful.
Mm.
They just wanted the best for me.
Mm.
And they tried to give me what they thought is best.
For them, that would have been
so basically
best.
the main question is, what is the best? What is best in their opinion?
And then
in their opinion was a successful person.
Yeah, but then also they grew up in a different country, different society, different needs. I think they were probably they were not from rich families.
They were not, correct.
So basically for them the basic needs are also important. Like I need to feed my family, I need to provide shelter, I need to send my kids to school, pay for school trips. Yeah. Those basic things. Yeah. So that was something that my parents were also not from like rich backgrounds or something, but they were also just like building a home, making a family, like make sure everyone can eat, everyone can do sports, everyone can go to school, like, you know, like just making sure that's all present for us. My dad made all of us learn an instrument because he was sad that he never learned an instrument. Like this is the other example. Yeah. Projecting onto your children what you didn't have. Yeah. That's interesting.
But also,
I lost a little bit my train of thought.
I'm following your train.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe they thought being successful career-wise makes you the best person there is. Yeah. So they just gave me that.
Because then you have enough money to buy everything for your kids.
Because they did not come from a family that have money.
So in their time,
they always
when they were your age.
Exactly.
Boom. We cracked the code. We did it together.
Well done.
But I think what comes back is that none of this pressure that we've been talking about so far actually came from within us. It's from 1,000 years ago and from our parents who are maybe projecting things on us or who want the best for us, but our best is different from their best.
Correct. And now I'm thinking probably when I have kids, I'm thinking mental health is going to be
we're going to force them to do like to go to all the therapists, but then they're actually like, bruh, I'm already so evolved. I mean, we're going to raise our children differently as well, you know, like
true.
Maybe they're already so focused on their mental health that they'll need other things, you know.
But coming back to... So now going back to the point of raising a kid, I think my parents thought still thinks a successful career is what's best for you. So they try to kind of push that on me. And as a kid, you don't know what's going on. You just do whatever your parents tell you to do. And I remember they always expected me to do great at school. Mm-hmm. Study hard, get high grade, and in Iran grades are from 20, so 0 to 20. And I remember I used to study very hard, like at the age of how old was I? 7. At the age of 11, at the age of 11, 12, I used to study 8 to 10 hours a day to get to this special talent school, and minimum hangout with friends. So that already was a lot of pressure. And back then I didn't know. I enjoyed it because I felt like, oh, this actually feeling of achieving something great is giving me this dopamine that, oh, I'm getting somewhere. And you try to fulfill the needs of your parents.
Yeah, so
this is the main need that you have as a kid.
Yeah. But
to
then
make them
how? So
happy.
like, how was it then when you got home with great grades because you were successful?
How was it when?
Yeah. So let's say you studied a lot, you got amazing grades. You're coming home, you're showing your parents, look what I did.
Exactly. So when I got a 20 out of 20 in the class, you feel proud because everyone literally clapped for you. Your teacher looks at you, is like, I'm proud of you. You get home, your parents, they give you love. It's just, they're like, oh, well done, you're the best, you're amazing. And you get a lot of love from all the environment, and probably most importantly, your parents.
I'm also feeling pressure build up in myself right now, because I'm thinking
can
about
feel it.
what about the next time when you don't hit 20?
Exactly.
You know, because now you're celebrating so much and you're like, everyone's proud.
Yeah.
What if you didn't hit 20?
And that's the freaking stress where it comes from. And it was the time that I got 18 out of 20.
That's so really good.
To European standards is a very good grade, but to Iranian standards, it's not super great, especially if you have kind of a perfectionist parents that always strive for best. And I get 18 out of 20. I immediately lose the encouragement from the teacher. There's no more clap from the classmates. You come home, first question mother or father ask, how much you get? 18. How much Dennis got? And I said, oh, Dennis got the 19. I was like, oh, if you haven't played PlayStation, you would have gotten the 20.
Wow, yeah. Which is not even proven to be true, to be honest. Like,
no, but this immediate comparison with a friend maybe subconsciously made me not good enough. That the next time I have to try harder to get that love back again.
So there's this exponential loop of pressure to perform. Like, I need to hit the 20 again because I want to be celebrated. And
and back then I didn't know I'm striving for this.
Oh yeah, you're just a child.
You're just a child. You're just like, oh, I need the 20. You don't care why.
Yeah, I got rewards when I got the 20. I need that again.
Yeah.
And then
And also for me, they didn't just give me presents, or if I needed a toy, I needed to get 20 out of 20. If I needed a new bike, my overall GPA had to be 19 out of 20.
So even your rewards at home were
Yes.
linked to the success at school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this led to me being a great student. I never failed in any course in school. I remember one day I got a very low grade, I think like a 12 out of 20. And if you're lower than that, you fail the course. And if you get less than 14, your parents have to sign the exam sheet. So to make sure that they have seen that you fucked up.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was 11, I was so ashamed. When I was 11 or 10, I got such a grade.
Yeah.
I was so ashamed. I faked my mom's signature.
Yep. And yep. I mean, I've been hiding grades from my parents too. And
I think everybody has done
that. And I think if you're listening and you agree, you're probably smirking right now.
Yeah. But just the shame that carried over. And this mentality, this whole lifestyle made me a hardworking person. That I always strive to get the highest grade, do better, always study with the top 4 students that are getting the higher grade to see what are they doing, ask them questions, always engaging with them. And I enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed it. But it does come with a lot of sacrifices. I didn't have a lot of fun that my high school mates had. They used to go out, I used to study, or in university, we didn't social in bachelor, especially even in masters, we didn't socialize that much out because we were always working hard to get the best, to get the best grade and get to the best university. And then when I was in my bachelor, they were like, "Oh, study to get the best university for your masters." So I had to study double hard to now go to Netherlands to study. And then when I got to Netherlands, I was struggling as fuck.
Yeah, and then it's also another language, you know. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember in bachelor there was a course I couldn't understand. And I had so many fears over this. That's
Fears.
of failure.
Yeah.
I've never failed.
Yeah.
And in then one of the other episodes I talked about this, that
Yeah.
when I got into my masters here, that I broke down mentally. I was like, there was this version of Soroosh in my brain that this guy is unstoppable.
Yeah, you're someone who only gets 18 to 20.
Yeah,
and
I
then
never
you're coming to
fail.
the Netherlands and you're like struggling to get a 6 out of 10.
That is correct. That's
Yeah.
literally what it was.
Yeah.
And all your ego is shattered into pieces, and you don't have your parents and family to rely on, and you're like, fuck.
I'm sure we also have some young parents or future parents listening in on this, and yeah, like some lessons I would like to repeat is that, yeah, one of them for sure, don't underestimate school, but in this way that school is not only a place of learning things, but also a place where you learn how to socialize.
Yeah.
And failure is
fail.
also a great lesson. And it's much easier to learn how to deal with failure when you're 8, 9, 10 years old coming home with a bad grade than if you are 24 doing your
true.
master's and you've
In
never
another
failed
country.
an exam. Like, you don't even know, oh my God, like, what is the situation? I don't know how to fail. Like, and then I can imagine it's all this internal pressure and struggle building up. It's
Yeah, I did have panic attacks. Like,
yeah. I mean,
and what you said, I remembered some wise word from someone I don't remember, that it says you don't learn from success, you learn from failure.
Yep.
And then you become successful. So, yeah, coming back to my story, that's how I grew up. And I do still have this vision of me as a successful person, right?
You still have that vision, but how do you experience that pressure? Because that's how it started, right? I mean, that pressure from 1,000 years ago and that pressure from your parents growing up and all these other things that came into your life, like, how is that pressure affecting you today as you sit here?
The funny things is,
because you refer to the pressure at work and like the other pressures too.
yeah.
So like, how does it lead to that now? Like, how are you now?
How does it lead? Now I do feel the pressure.
But is it your mom's pressure or your own pressure?
Now it's my own pressure.
Okay.
Look at this as an example of me and studying harder as a kid.
Yeah.
But at some point,
Let's use the bear again.
let's use the bear. I like the bear better.
A bear is running after you.
A bear is
You
running
run
after
away.
you, and you're running fast and fast and fast from the bear. And maybe for better, at that point, you want to survive.
Yeah.
You want to get the love of your parents. But after some point, which is now, the bear is not running after you anymore.
No.
But you are still running.
Yeah. And you didn't even realize the bear is not.
The bear is gone,
Yeah.
but it's replaced by an inner bear, which is me. Now I'm the one who's putting pressure on me. Now I'm the one who's like, Soroosh, you need to be successful. Soroosh, this success is gonna make you happy. And it does create pressure, I'm not gonna lie. Like, some days I'm sitting at home watching a movie and I'm thinking like, oh shit, I could have learned a new language. Oh, I could have learned a new instrument. I could have do something useful per se. And it's a lot of pressure thinking about it. Now, honestly, that I'm talking, my shoulders are tense.
Yeah. Jeez, this happens a lot in the last couple episodes that we tension up our shoulders because the topic is so vulnerable. Damn.
Yeah, but this is the thing, that the topics we talk here are also relevant to the current state of our being.
Yeah.
That I do nowadays feel this pressure, and it is hard on me. And yeah, this is how it is. The bear is gone, but I'm running after myself in an idea of I want to become successful.
You're the hunter and the hunted now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't want it.
Hmm.
It's that I do want to be successful because this is a vision that I have from myself, for myself. And
But I don't know. I don't like the image of running from something that is not even there or that is myself. I feel
it's
like
not a, it's
I
not a,
wouldn't-
now I'm running toward.
Yeah, exactly. I would find it more inspiring if I'm running to something than from something away.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I mean.
This is how it is. Now I'm running toward something, which is also like a metaphor of our running. Every time we actually run,
Nice.
we do run toward finishing that goal.
Yeah.
And it comes with pressure. I do have this mental talk that I'm like,
Mm.
one more kilometer, one more month.
I love this example. Also, like, I think if you're now referring to running towards something, I think that destination in the end is not even that super important. I mean, it's good to have the direction and run towards that direction.
Yeah.
And I also think while you're running, it's good to realize that if you want to like perform on a consistent level,
Yeah.
it's important to take breaks to drink, breaks to eat, breaks to sleep, you know, like to not always be running, but also learning how, okay,
When to
release the pressure, take a pause,
Mm.
come back, and then continue running, you know. And then sometimes the pressure, I think, can also help you to perform.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's healthy if you're finishing your work week that you still feel it on the Saturday and Sunday, and that you're actually working like on your own time, let's say, because yeah, that's the time where you should recover. At least like when we're talking about work, and then
Now I'm taking this pause because we also talked about this behind the recording, that I do believe in order to truly be extraordinary, you need to run and run and run and run. And some of those people never take breaks.
Yeah, I mean,
like people who have done extraordinary things, like the scientists and the Steve Jobs and the Elon Musks of the industry. I don't think they take those many breaks because they're obsessed with changing something for better, which results in sacrificing a lot of other things.
This was what I was thinking, because then maybe you're
Doesn't come free.
sacrificing the relationship with your family because you don't have time for your kids, for your wife, for your husband, for whoever, for friends.
And this is an inner struggle for me, that I can become obsessed. I am a person that can become obsessed with something and just dive deep into it. And but also I truly value relationships. I value relationship with friends, with family, with people that I love. And I'm not sure right now I'm not sure if I want to sacrifice for that cause.
But what is your cause? But do you have your cause formulated that clearly, that you can?
My cause is right now is to create something great and to make it.
Okay, but that's very broad. So like,
it is very broad, and
you're not grinding at that right now.
No, and maybe if it's my own company, it makes more sense to me. You know, if I'm grinding for something that I truly value, maybe it's less of a pain for me. And then if I have friends, relationships that are holding my back in the way of grinding toward what I want to go, that I feel more safe running toward it. But now I still love the company that I work at. It's not my dream and it's not my company. I still put my maximum my maximum effort guiding the team. Still, I told you, whatever you put me, if I like it, I try to make the best out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I feel like if I have this solid base of friendship, relationships, support system, going back to the episode we talked about support systems, and then you have a big target to run toward to, then it feels more safe to run there. You're not alone.
Okay. Oh, yeah, for me it's a bit different, I think. But
People have different views. This is how my inner.
yeah, like I have also
Pressure.
different pressures. I think I have two that I'm thinking of that are maybe I can
Sure.
mention as well.
Share with us.
One is the pressure to be successful, but then not successful. So like, yeah. So this is the thing. I think I truly, like, no, I don't want to say that. I want to say I believe that I can do great things and like help people improve their lives. Like, for example, through this podcast,
Okay.
but also through my other business ventures. At the same time, I'm afraid of the moment when I'm successful. So when someone actually comes to me and says, "Hey, this podcast episode really helped me," I have a hard time accepting that, because it's like if this is true, then I already reached my goal, and I don't want to reach my goal because it's my life goal, like it's so big. Like I want to, but I don't want to reach it. It's really tough in my head. Like I want to be successful, but I don't want to be like yeah.
Let's go take one step back to what you said. What is the definition of successful for you? What is success for you?
To change people's lives, and actually like my dream is to help people see more in life, like have a better life, be happier, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would make me really happy. And then I don't care how I do it. Now we're doing this through the podcast.
Yeah. And what are you afraid of
I'm afraid that I can actually do it. Like we take your Steve Jobs example, I'm afraid that I could be Steve Jobs. And I'm afraid of that.
But let's imagine that.
I think it's
Close your
actually a
eyes.
fear. It's not a pressure. It's a
Okay.
fear.
This is a fear, but fear can create pressure.
Yeah. So the pressure that I associate with this is that when I'm not doing anything, I feel guilty, and then pressure starts building up.
This is like what I said.
Yeah.
Also, when I'm with my friends.
So like basically even sleeping too long, I feel guilty. I didn't wake up in the morning. Successful people wake up in the morning.
Exactly.
Like, oh, today I didn't reach my daily goal of this. And then I just like, I don't know, I suffocate under that. I'm like, oh yeah, you're not good enough. You suck. I tell myself this. And then I create more pressure for the next day. But then the next day I have 2 goals to reach. And then it's like, I don't reach again one of them. And I do negative self-talk and create more pressure until I reach a moment where I crash. And then I go away for 3 days. Like, you experienced this when I was barely answering your messages, like, and then I go in my dark corner for 3 days, and I come back and I start from the start again. Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's just I'm like basically hurting myself for not being always super productive, efficient, reaching things, doing things. But I'm blaming myself for taking a break, which I think is not healthy.
Going back to.
But yeah, this is my pressure.
You said you're afraid of actually getting there.
Yeah.
Let's imagine.
It's very complicated, also connected with the procrastination loop in there as well.
Imagine it's 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
And we organize the conference. It's in Mallorca. And we do meditation, breath work, men's circle, all emotional release, all this kind of stuff.
Some sports.
We do surfing in the mornings, and after the surf we have yoga, and it's a whole week. And
amazing food, sun,
amazing fresh food from Spain. What else do you want there?
I don't know, just people who are all having, like, people who just look like they're having a good time and they're feeling free and they can be themselves, and like, I don't know, we're just in this little community.
And there are all those people there sitting around a little bonfire, and you're guiding the breathwork session. Can you tell me how you feel?
It's just crazy amazing, man. Like, it's so amazing that I'm like, I feel like I don't deserve it, and you know, like, it's exactly this feeling. Like, it's so nice, it's really all I want, And then if I imagine myself there and I look at myself now, I feel like that's still a very big step. And I don't know. Like,
how do you feel?
happy and scared.
That's okay.
Happy that I can do it and scared that I can do it.
But you did it.
What if I am good enough? Like, I think I've been telling myself you're not good enough. And now I see an image where I am good enough.
Yeah.
And that scares the shit out of me because I've been telling myself that I'm not.
Okay. So you see a picture of yourself and you proved to yourself that you're good enough.
Well, in my picture, yeah. See, I'm already doing it again, man. I'm making it smaller. You know?
But in your mind, the thought that you actually did it scares you.
Yes.
Why?
It's like,
why are you
imagine
afraid sitting there? What are you afraid of?
when you're there, where do you go? What do you strive for when you are there?
For the next one. First of all, you enjoy what you have created. This community of beautiful people that are there. And you can create more of that. You can go to different places. You can do voluntary for those stuff. Do it for people who cannot afford it.
I think I have this thing in my head that when I reach that place that I find so beautiful, that I then have nothing more to do and nothing more to live for, you know? But yeah, you're right. I mean, then you just set yourself the next milestone for sure. Yeah. Wow.
Is that what you're really afraid of? That you don't know if you actually reach your goals, you don't know what's next?
Yeah, I mean, you can see that in my actions as well. Like, and even in school, I was already like this. I would not study to be the best, like completely different to your story. But I would not study to be the best. I would study to pass. And then my parents were trying to push me to be the best. But honestly, I think I reacted in the opposite way to you. You were then trying to really achieve that all the time.
Yeah.
And me, I reached it once. I failed 2 times. I saw that, fuck it. And I was like, okay, then I'll just do the minimum that I just pass. And I'm just like that, you know? And so I did the minimum. I never strived to be the to actually be the best, or like the goal was still achieved, but it was not achieved on like I could have probably done much more if I would have been like fully in it to have good grades, I think.
But you didn't want to?
No, I just didn't study. Honestly, until university, I didn't even know how to study.
But did you believe that you could? If you
yeah, because I passed all my classes even without studying. Like the highest German education in the gymnasium, I passed my Abitur. I'd never had to do a class twice. So I passed everything, and I never studied not really, maybe one day or something. But I barely studied for this. And yeah, I could reach the bare minimum by not doing anything. Just by sitting I was sitting in the class paying attention, but I was not doing homework or studying at home. I was playing computer games or going outside with friends. I started a rap career in my room while I was supposed to study for exams.
Okay. And going where you were with the whole imaginary 5 years from here and the circle, you said maybe you finally feel like you're good enough.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think also with this whole project and this phase in my life, I'm at a turning point where I want to confront this type of feeling I have and this type of pressure. And for example, if you look at this project we are doing together with the podcast, this for me right now is proof that I can put effort into something, do my best, and also reach the goal, and I'm good enough, you know? But if we would now... That's why it's so important to me that we do put out an episode every 2 weeks. We don't skip a week. We don't do that stuff, because then I'm going back to the guy who's doing the bare minimum. Oh, it's okay if we skip one episode. We'll just do the next one, you know? I don't want to go back to that. And I'm still fighting with that guy, you know? So I don't want to half-ass things. I want to do full force. And this creates pressure as well, because then I need a break sometimes.
Yeah.
and I then don't allow myself that break, or I put pressure, or I think I'm a loser because I take a break or something like that.
It's beautiful, I think, what you have. And
It's
I
beautiful.
love
It feels so heavy. But you said
Why?
it's beautiful. I mean, it's so nice to see your reaction as well.
what you just said. I think it resonated for me in three-way, multiple thing. That's why I found it beautiful.
Yeah.
When you said you want to go back to that guy, you referred to that guy
I
as a
don't want to. Yeah.
passive person.
I was distancing from myself. Yeah.
Which you remember in that 2 episodes ago, I told you it's about association. You don't associate yourself with that person anymore. And
But
you don't want to be.
But he's still there though.
He's there, but that's why you don't refer to him as you.
Yeah.
Because the you that you want to be
Yeah.
is distant.
I want to remove that thing, like that part of myself, actually. I mean, it is a big part of who I am in that way, but I do want to remove it as well. As in, I don't want to feel guilty when I take a break, and I also want to feel like I can put everything into a project, and it's okay to be successful.
Same for me. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's not.
And it is okay to take breaks.
Yeah.
I think this is something that for us we need to accept that, okay, if you want to go on that path, you do need to take breaks getting there, and you need to be able to rely on people to get there. And I think we need to remove the procrastination loop, because this is once I read, this is a sign of perfectionist people that also nag, that they want.
Nagging is complaining.
Yeah, but also procrastinating because of the nagging on the procrastination.
Yeah.
They want to achieve high level stuff, but they also don't do it, and they self-blame. This is a loop. And then they have time, they procrastinate it. Tomorrow they wake up, they're like, I didn't do it. I deserve another break. Then take another break.
That's me.
I also have it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. But yeah, as we said, like.
And the question of how to deal with it, I think we have to allow ourselves to have breaks, but also recognize ourselves for having a target that we want to move toward.
Yeah. Honestly, one of the tips also for dealing with procrastination maybe is I recently participated in a mastermind.
Yeah.
And the girl, Sophia, who organizes this, she said something also. She was like, look, guys, I also have this problem of procrastination. I think a lot of people are actually struggling with this. What I do is, on some days, I just get out of bed, sit in front of my computer, and start doing something.
Yes.
And then at some point, she'll start working and do something, actually. And then once she's doing it, it's like she's already doing it, you know? Then she's not procrastinating anymore. So it's like,
because
that's one tool that you can do. Like, just sit in front of your computer, and it works for me as well, actually.
True. Yeah, because it's about you showing up and doing it, like the way we fucking did it with the podcast.
Boom. Yes.
Not every day we had the idea. Not every day the audio was great. Not every day.
But one day we showed up, we did it, and now we're continuously showing up and doing it.
And I think that is the way to getting somewhere.
Beautiful. Oh my God.
Just days by days, little by little, showing up for yourself because you respect yourself, and just get there. And if one day you didn't, it's okay. Do not blame yourself so much, but also have that respect for yourself that tomorrow I'm gonna show up for me.
Yeah, and then actually do it.
Yeah, and it's also another solution for me is this power of now. If you want to do something, do it now. If it comes to your brain, just do it. And when, I don't know, I'm in the shower, I'm like, in the evening I'm going to text Dennis about next weekend. And then you see the natural longing to procrastinate it to the evening, last minute, which creates more pressure because all of a sudden in the evening you have 10 people to respond to.
Yeah. And then I don't respond to anyone.
I'm
like,
and then you avoid.
Dear.
Yeah. But if the moment that you came up with, you say, hey man, do you want to grab dinner? Da, 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 da. Done.
Yeah, it's like there's also this. There's so many small tools. Like if it takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately.
Yeah.
You know.
I think this has helped me with some of the chores of the house, especially, or if I need to text someone, instead of thinking how to write the perfect text, I just send the audio or just call the person. Hey, do you want to do this? Hey, what do you think about this? Still, some areas I haven't done that. I feel like I'm still waiting for the perfect moment, but it's what I mentioned. I think you just have to show up with the gym. Just show up. Even if it's half an hour, just stand there in the uncomfortable. And the next time you stand there 5 minutes more, and the next time you stand there 5 minutes more. And
so basically, like, this is also how you can release the pressure, right? Just by doing it, by taking a break,
showing up,
by removing the thing that even created the pressure. Maybe if you're still hearing your parents in your head, think about it. Does that still serve you? Does that lead you anywhere? So I think that first step, as always, is gaining awareness.
It is correct.
Like, oh, this is happening with me. I have that pressure. And then how can I release it? And then play around with different tools, like doing things under 2 minutes right away, sitting in front of your computer, all these tools we talked about. And then you can develop your own way of coping and maybe beat procrastination one more time than it beats you.
And I think
be happy on that way. One more thing I wanted to say, I think there's so many more tools and tips and tricks out there how you can actually do this, like release the pressure, but also beat procrastination, let's say. And I'm sure that you as a listener are thinking about your way that you maybe have figured out already, or you're thinking of a way that you really want to try. We are just two people, and we really believe in the power of common knowledge and common knowledge sharing.
Is caring.
Exactly. So do send us a voice message if you scroll down in the description of this episode, there's an anchor.fm link. You can click on that, send us a voice message. What are you doing currently to release pressure or beat procrastination? You can also send us feedback to this episode just below the episode as well.